Today's book is An Ember in the Ashes. Wait. Yes. By Sabaa Tahir. 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 So, okay, well, let's take a look at the inside of the book. I like this thing about the book because it has two maps in it. One is of the Marshall Empire, which is this right here. Okay, and then it has well, most of this story takes place here. Wait, yes, here and here, which are very small, but it's cool because we have another map for the other part that it's right here, which is the Black Cliff Academy. I really like it. It was a very simple map, but it was easy. I mean, it was an easy map, and it made it easy to understand what the fuck it's, where people are and stuff like that. It's easy to follow, like to keep in your mind and stuff. Like, yeah, get it. The book is The Ember in the Ashes. And Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir is 446 pages, but it has like a little preview for the next book, which is really cool, but I didn't read it because I have the next book, so it's fine because tomorrow, well, today I guess, because this video will come out the day the book is released, so today the third book comes out. And yeah, I wish I had that book already, but okay. So it starts off in a place called, in the sector, whatever, village, called Sarah, and but most of the book develops in the Black Cliff Academy. Yeah, also the maps, I liked the maps because the book not only takes place in those two places, in Sarah and Black Cliff, it takes these characters through, but it's one of the characters, he goes through two other places in that, so that map was really well utilized. It was helpful when I needed to know, oh shit, he's gonna travel all this distance, man, like they're supposed to be here, and then like he's over here, or how is he gonna manage it, oh my god, so the maps helped with the story. They were not just there to make the book look pretty or whatever. They were utilized to help within the story. The main characters are Leia and Elias. Leia is a 17-year-old girl who is from a race of people in this book that are called the scholars, who are, well, like, who were once upon a time, like scholars, like they were the people who knew anything and everything, but they don't know anything anymore, because it's even forbidden for them to even know how to read, because when the empire took over, they came and fucked everything up. So now the scholars are, when they were once these people who were respected and up there and shit, now they're nothing pretty much. Elias is a 21-year-old. I believe he's 21 because I had to do the math in here, but I believe he's 21. He's known as a mask. Okay. And the masks are trained soldiers who are, their sole purpose in life is to defend the empire. Elias hasn't fully graduated into being a mask, but fuck it, he's a mask. He's been there since he was 6 because the Marshall Empire, they take kids from people from all over. They take the kids and then they bring them to academy when they're 6 years old, and they start training them so that they can become masks. A mask. The masks are these masks that look silver, but I don't believe the metal in them is silver. I think it's something else, because the masks kind of like they fuse with the skin of the person, so they start like melding into the person, like their features and everything, like when the person even, and I believe that they can, if they move, for example, an eyebrow, or when they're speaking or whatever, you can see it through the mask, or like the mask moves, so it's like it's like this magical thing, or this special metal or whatever. But the more they wear it, the more it gets like fused within their skin. And as time goes by, and the older they get and stuff, if they try to take off the mask, their complete face will pretty much come off as well. That's how fused with their skin it is. So Elias' mask hasn't melted into his skin, because he takes the mask off as often as he can, which he's not supposed to. Elias don't give a shit. He's not supposed to do that. He is not supposed to, and also because he's about to graduate as a full mask and stuff. So the graduation is like within 2 days, and usually the mask would be completely welded into him, but because he takes it off, because he cannot stand that shit, the mask still sits on top of his face. He's able to take it on and off and stuff. So that's where Elias is at when it comes to being a mask. He doesn't, even though he's the best student in that academy, he is like not that interested anymore in being, like, he's not into being a mask. Blackcliff, the academy, is a horrible place. There is no room for mistakes or weakness or mercy in that place. None of that is allowed. They have to be like stone cold killers. They can't show weakness, or because it's their constant life since they arrived to that place is life or death. Like, they have to choose to leave and fuck everybody else. That's the way it works in there. Like, it's constantly, for the students, it's constantly life or death situations, because the way that place is run by a woman called the commandant, who is an asshole, because her whole life is about making people suffer and watch them suffer, because she's a fucking asshole. That's why. Okay. Leia and Elias' story, they start in different places, because of course he's at the academy, she's in her village or her district or whatever. They're in different places, but slowly but surely their stories start to intertwine until the more and more, until they're pretty much combined. Leia is trying to rescue her brother, who was taken prisoner by a mask, because they think that he is part of a group of people called the Resistance, who's trying to overthrow the Empire, So they take him as prisoner, and Leia is like, oh shit, and they killed his family, and oh my god. But Leia don't know anything about... Leia is just a regular person. She's just a regular girl. So she has to go and find the Resistance to ask them for help, so that they can rescue her brother. Because she's like, oh my god, they're gonna kill him, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Because, of course, prisoners don't last long in Blackcliff Academy, which is like, so the prisoners don't last in prison, and especially if they think they are traitors and stuff like that. So she's like, oh my god, help me get my brother, help me rescue him. So Elias, I don't know, Elias. Elias, he's trying to figure out what the fuck he wants to do with his life, or who the fuck he is, because he doesn't like being a mask anymore. But like I said before, even though he's the finest mask and all the finest soldier or student and all the school, that's not what he wants to be his life. So I think I like this book, because the prose that I find in this book is that it was well written. I really liked it. This writer is good at describing emotion. There were several times in which I was reading it and I just thought, shit, oh my god, like, how much suffering can this person take? And And while I was reading it, I had this sense of urgency, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? Oh my god, no, like it's 4 a.m. But shit, I need to read another chapter. I need another chapter. Like, give me. So I really enjoyed really reading this book. Another thing that I consider a pro in this book is that this book was not love driven. Like the plot in the story is not love driven. Like, oh my god, the guy of my dreams, I need to get to him and he needs to rescue me, or I need to rescue him, or whatever. No, it has an element of romance in it, but the romance is not the story. The romance in this is like the romance is a side thing when it comes to the plot and this story, which I really appreciated, because okay, it's cool that it has romance, it's fine. And the romance, I think it was well done. It was like peppered with romance, that's what it is. But the story is more focused on, I think, on other elements that it doesn't necessarily have to do with romance. So I really appreciated that the drama and the conflicts in this story, they don't have to do with, oh my god, I love this guy, and our love, and we have to be together, and that's it. So I really appreciated that. Another thing that I consider a pro in this book is that the lead character, Leia, she is a regular girl. She's just a normal, regular girl. So the writer didn't make her a combat trained assassin overnight. And I'm not saying that eventually she becomes an assassin or anything like that. But I'm saying that she just didn't just magically give her like special fucking abilities, or she magically, from being just a regular person who's never killed anybody, just a skillful and perfectly good assassin. She didn't make her that. Like, she kept her the way she is, the way she was when you first see this character. She just keeps her. Of course, this character keeps developing, and she starts learning other things, like, survival and stuff. But she didn't make it as, crazy as I usually see in books. Like, oh my god, this girl doesn't know anything, and then overnight she's fucking an expert at everything, pretty much. And I just hate that shit. This magic moment of, yeah, there you go. I don't want to make her go through training or anything. Let me just make her a badass, because I don't know, she just, that's the way she was born, or whatever bullshit. So I really appreciated that she did not make Leia's life easy. She didn't. It's like this girl goes through so much shit in this book. It's crazy. But she made it believable, and she made her believable, because she didn't just magically develop fucking powers. And it wouldn't surprise me if she actually develops powers in other books, but it wasn't like suddenly in this book, oh my god, I am invincible and then I can kill everybody. And yeah, okay, you get it. Like, she kept her the way she is, and I like that. For once, I didn't feel the book needed to be shorter. I actually thought it could have been longer, because I was like, oh, okay, so it's almost over. And like, but then, because I knew there were more books coming, there was another one available and another one was coming, and I thought, oh yeah, okay, look, that's why she ended it here. But it was not it didn't end. I think it ended sort of in a cliffhanger, but at the same time, it had a little bit of a closure when it came to the story in here, but not really, but kind of, but not really. It wasn't like, it was a little bit of a cliffhanger. Another thing that I liked about this book was that the fight scenes, in my opinion, were done well. I believed the fight scenes that happened in here. I really like that the way Elias fights, because one of my characters in my book fights the same way he does. So I was like, okay, so let me see, because he fights with two swords, scimitas, I think they're called, but it's like those long and curved. They have a long sword, but they have like a little curve. So he fights with two of those, and I really like that. I like that character, Elias. I like them. I think he. I think like he's supposed to be this badass guy, and I like that because I kind of believe it. But it's he's. I actually, one of the things that happened was that I thought Elias was older because of the way he speaks. And sometimes I thought he was like a 30-year-old man, and then later on when I was reading the book, and then they showed this part where uh, he said at what age he had been brought to the academy and how long he had been in there. And I was like, okay, let me do this math real quick, maybe this, maybe minus plus divided. So I thought, okay, he's 21. And I was surprised because if you see him in the cover, he doesn't look like a I don't know, to me he looks like a man. So I just thought, oh, this, from looking at at the cover, I just thought, oh, this is a man that's gonna protect this girl. Like, pretty much, this girl is gonna meet this man, and this man is gonna protect her. He's gonna be. That's what I got. The vibe I got from the cover. But no, he's not a grown ass man. He's 21, which I was like, I didn't think he was that young. So I like him. So I guess that the way he acts at times, it makes sense for the age that he's supposed to be. But you need to change the fucking. He looks too old, man. He looks too old in this fucking. He looks like a 35-year-old fucking man. One thing that the story started. It didn't start like, well, there you go. Here's the drama. No, but it was not a slow burner either. So I mean, slow. It wasn't a slow burn either. So I like that because yeah, she kept the ball moving, and she just kept and it just at points in the story I was like, oh my god, oh, I found myself hyperventilating and shit while I was reading this. So, and that was pretty cool because I don't get that in a lot of books, but I was really worried. I was like, shit, oh my god, please don't, oh my god, please don't kill them. Oh, how are they gonna get out of this, you know? That was really cool. I like that. And that's the reason why I have the other book, and I'm gonna read the third book when it comes out for sure. Now I am a fan of this writer for sure. I like her writing style. I like everything. It's really cool. This story, to me, my opinion, it was rich. It was engaging. It was exciting to read. So I think that's another pro. The main characters were fleshed out pretty well. Maybe some of the other characters weren't, but at least the main characters, Leia and Elias, in my opinion, they were fleshed out pretty well. I did feel like I was experiencing their suffering. That's why I was like, especially when it came to Leia, because their lives, Elias and Leia's life, is like they're different because they're different people in different times and no, because they're different. Like, he is bred to be strong, and she is like not because she's a woman, because yeah, she's not. She just didn't go to this fucking school, you know? Like, yeah. Now let's talk about the cons of this book. Yes, I wish the villain in the story had a little bit more dimension than just being this person who enjoys to make people suffer and torture people. I wish they showed more than that, like, than just this fucking bitch. Like, at times I was like, she's just a fucking bitch who has power, pretty much, because she, like, the impression she gave me at times was not this person who has to be feared because of the because of what she's capable of, but more like be afraid of her because she might be in a bad mood and she might just kill you because she's in a bad mood. It's not like, and she just like tortures people for fun. And then she's like, um for example, like she's her face, she's either like this, like she shows zero fucking emotion because she's perfectly good at keeping that shit under control, the emotions, or she's doing this, like kind of like an evil fucking smile. But that's it. Pretty much that's as far as she goes. She has only those two fucking dimensions. Like that's it. She's just either not doing that, or she's smiling before she does something really evil. And it's like, I wish there was a way, or there probably, I hope that in other books we get to see more about her. There was a little hint about her story or what. It's like, I need to know, man, what made you this way. I need to, otherwise I just think you're a fucking asshole, you know. Like, otherwise it's not enough. The little backstory that I could read from about her, it's not enough for me to be like, I would be afraid of this bitch. I think I would hate this bitch. I mean, I hate her already. I think I'm like, she needs to fucking die, and like, it's serving the purpose that it's supposed to be serving. But it's like, to me, it's more of a bratty person who has power than a powerful person who is like, yes, I'm supposed to fear this person because, you know, it's like, she doesn't put the fear of God in me. She just like makes me think, she's such a fucking bitch, you know? And another thing, Elias has this friend. His best friend is a girl called Helene. Helene, I think it's her name. Hell. He calls her Hell. Or Heel. Whatever. But for a lack of better words, she's perfect, okay? She is perfect in every fucking aspect. She has a banging body. She has blue eyes. She's blonde. Like, she's a perfect fighter. She's a badass. She's fucking perfect. Okay, she's the perfect person in the story. She is the only female training in that academy, which is just only guys, because only the guys are tough, but because she's a badass, she's the only one who made it training in this fucking school. And I found that fucking character so fucking annoying. I just fucking die. Please die. You're a fucking nuisance. To me, I just didn't like that. Because they were setting her up to be this badass character so much that it became annoying to me. I think they were like, no, we need a girl who's a badass. We need a girl who's a badass. But we don't want to make Leia the badass because she's supposed to be like this regular girl. And we just want to keep that real. But still we need a badass girl. So we need to have like several characters who are these. The villain is the villain is a woman, and then we need to have the badass who is a girl. Then we need to have this regular girl. And I'm like, okay, I get it, feminism and all this stuff, but shit, man, this girl, Elias is supposed to be the fucking top student. Like, he is the most badass of the most badass in that fucking school. He's the one, right? He is the fucking one. And right under him, Hel or Helene is the second one in the whole fucking school. And that's fine. I'm still with you. I buy that shit because women, yes, we're capable too. Women. But if Elias is the badass, is the main one, he's the cool, he's the up here, there are parts in which I think they wanted to show how big of a badass this girl Helene is, that they had to make scenes in which she is the one who saves him, which undermines his position as the badass superhero guy in this book, I think. And then also Helene, she's in love with Elias, and then he's like, no, thank you, I would rather have you as a friend. and she cannot take that shit. She just can't take it, and she pretty much is like she had her whole life with him planned out already, and because he was like he rejected her, she just fucking went crazy. She couldn't take the fucking breakup, which, you know, the breakup from a man who wasn't her man, but really was her man, but still wasn't her fucking man. So she couldn't take that shit. And I was like, just fucking, she's not obligated to be with you. Calm down. Like, shit, man. Just because you're hanging with him 24/7, it doesn't mean he's fucking yours. Calm the fuck down, Helene. Calm down. And then that part that she's supposed to be this bad. Like, she's constantly I saw thrown at me that how fucking badass this girl is. Okay? And I'm like, okay, fine. But I get it. Like, stop telling me this fucking girl is a badass. I fucking get it. And then she constantly breaks declaring his love for her. She's constantly breaking his fucking nose because she don't give a fuck. And because she's a fucking badass, okay? So she breaks fucking noses. Yes, bitch. She breaks fucking noses because she don't give a shit. She don't. And at the same time, Elias has to constantly be saving her from this one fucking guy who is apparently he's a pain in the neck for this girl. Like, he will not leave her the fuck alone. He's like a predator and shit. And this girl, she's breaking the nose of this other fucking guy because she don't give a shit. She's such a fucking badass. But Elias has to constantly be saving her from this fucking specific guy who he cannot stand. And it makes it look so dumb, in my opinion. Because it's like, okay, you're a badass, and you're letting this motherfucker, like, fuck with you? So you go only after the guy who's declaring his love to you. You're like, I'm gonna break your fucking nose. Fuck you! How dare you declare your love to me? And this other motherfucker who's harassing you, you're not gonna break his fucking... Like, it makes no fucking sense. So it's like, oh yeah, Elias is a badass, but let's undermine him so that she can shine. But when she's supposed to fucking shine, when it's time to fucking defend herself, then they're like, no, let's bring Elias. He's the fucking hero. Go, Elias. Go, get her, boy. Get him, boy. Get him, boy. Get him. Get him, boy. Get him. It's like, what the fuck? Let this bitch... That is the moment in which you show how big of a badass this girl is. By having her beat the shit out of this guy who keeps harassing her. But no, it's like, no, it's just like, there were, that's what I was like, just fucking die. In my opinion, I was like, if this girl died, this book would have been better. Because to me, it was like, oh, okay, no. But I understand why they were setting her up to be this big threat who is kinda like, in a way, she was supposed to be like under Elias, like second place in badassness. But I think that at the end of the book, they make her look like they're the same. Like, pretty much the same. And possibly she's even more threatening and even more powerful and even more everything than Elias. So that we can be like, oh shit. So I guess that's why they were setting her up to be this huge ass threat so much. Because next book. You know what I mean? I get it now. I was like, oh, well, yeah. Like, yeah. But those were the two things that I didn't like about this book. The two things. Is that gonna keep me from not reading the next book? Fuck no. Because I really liked it. It's just like, meh. I guess there are characters in each book that you're not gonna fall in love with. And that's fine. Because it would be crazy for me to fucking like every single character. Anyway, I have to hate one. I have to aspire for one to fucking die. So, would I recommend this book? Yes. Yes, I would. Because I think it's a good book. I really think it's a cool story. It's an easy read. Well, at times, I was like... At times, I think I was reading and I was like, well, this is Latin. Or at times, I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Because they throw words in there that you... If you're not familiar with some weapons, I think, and it's like... there are some things in there that I think... some people might not find that they know what the fuck they are. Like the types of swords, for example, which I was like, oh, okay, they're fighting with these ones. But it was a pretty cool, it was a cool thing, because I I think I saw in a review that this person said that it's a Roman inspired fantasy book, and I can see why, but I see elements of other cultures are, as well in there. I see elements of, I don't want to say which other culture because I don't want to fuck it up, but I see elements of other cultures in there, starting with the weapons and starting with some things, the way they describe some things, and I'm like, oh, this is from this other culture, and it's pretty cool. I really liked it. I really like that the way they made it different, because it has fantasy elements in it, so it's pretty cool, and I hope that because this book is the setup for bigger things, I believe. I hope that later on in the other books it just gets bigger. The fantasy elements in it, I hope they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Will I read this book again? Oh, for sure, for sure. I think this book can, yeah, I'm gonna keep it for sure, and I think this book is going to be one of those that I would like to return again and again to see what I missed the first time around. Yeah, so that's it for today for this book. The Ember in the Ashes. Yes. Yay! No, it's not D, it's N. Ember in the Ashes. Bye. Sabaa. Thank you for your time. Bye.